beautiful Gulfstream Park. It is a fantastic Thursday afternoon. We got a fast main track, firm turf course, Ron Nicoletti, along with Katie Stazak. Katie, we got a fantastic jackpot in carryover in our Rainbow Six. Starts in race number 6. $438,000. I'm going to say it just like that.
Pretty much. It's pretty up there. They've been getting close to hitting it, but they just haven't quite gotten it done. The jackpot continues to climb, and I'm excited about the numbers that it may reach today.
Yeah, fast main track, as we mentioned, firm turf course, should be a lot of fun. Temperature like in the low 80s today, so
beautiful.
A good day for racing. And as we say, if this thing doesn't get hit today and it lasts to the weekend, it's going to be up near that $1 million mark again. So the Rainbow Six, lots of excitement going on, and we have an 11-race card, as I mentioned today, and we want to go back and show you a race from Sunday. It was a pretty nice performance by this horse.
This was a pretty nice performance, and I think that Matru could be a horse to watch in the future. This was his North American debut, his dirt debut, and his first start since 2013, and he comes in and is pretty impressive in this race for Chad Brown. I watched this horse walking out to the track, and he just looked phenomenal on his toes. It looked fantastic, and he'd been working very strongly for Chad Brown leading up to this North American debut, and looks like he ran to those works. I'm excited to see what he does going down the road now that he's had a start under his belt.
Just one of those great horses you get to see here each and every racing day at Gulfstream Park. Mark that horse down. You're going to see him in the stakes competition real soon. So we have an 11-race card. I want to mention, too, that we just found out before we came on the air that apprentice Tyler Gaffleone will not be riding today. He's under the weather, so there'll be lots of jockey changes, and whatever we have we'll give you, but track announcer Larry Comas will come on a little later on and update you with everything you need. And our first race today is a 1-mile claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. I wanted to point that out. Non-winners of 2 in life, $12,500. A jockey change today on the number 6 horse is Joe Bravo. That's the one that Tyler Gaffleone will not be riding today. And I mentioned 3-year-olds and up. This is when 3-year-olds start running against older horses. It just
First day that we've seen.
First day that we've seen. And a lot of people, when they handicap, toss that out immediately. I am not one of those. I think if the horse is good enough to win, he can win in that spot. But a lot of people, you know, I mean, it's something you have to look at. You know
Absolutely. What I mean? The horses are older, more mature, typically more experienced. But I side with you in the fact that if the horse is qualified and has run well, I'm not going to take that horse, leave that horse off just because of age.
Yeah, you know, also a lot of horses, you know, everybody's birthday is on January 1st. A lot of horses, if you look, you see they're not really 3, even though they think they're 3, or they're told that they're 3. So every once in a while, you might want to take a second look at those horses. But like I said, just wanted to point that out today. I went with the number 4, and so did Katie. That's Western Ania. This one is dropping to this $12,500 level, trying a 1-turn mile. Set the pace weekend. That was $20,000, 2-lifetime competition, going 2 turns. 7.5 furlongs on the turf, the old turf, the dirt angle. Mike Petro, Paco Lopez named to ride. Paco Lopez riding pretty nicely.
He is. I love the combination of all of that with the 4, Westaniana, and that also last start, not only is she dropping down, that was her first time running against winners, now has that experience, should be much better today. 2 starts back, she broke her maiden by 4.5 lengths, and it was pretty easy. Made it look pretty easy. Yeah, we have our exacta like flip-flopped. I got the 7, Bill the Jack in second, stepping up to the next logical level, Giuseppe Ayasadurnia, 24% with horses stretching out in distance. And I know you used the number 6, Princess Tumi, in second. That's the one we mentioned Joe Bravo will be riding. Yeah, dropping down. Class Relief makes her a strong contender. My only concern is that she has yet to win over a fast main track. She would unquestionably be my top selection if we were running in the slop today. But she is dropping down, so I think she's worth a look on your ticket. It never rains at Gulfstream Park. You know never.
That.
It's
never.
A dry rain.
It's a dry rain anyway. Second race today, 1-mile claimers, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, or a race since September 5th, $6,250. 1 scratch, and yeah, I know it was one of my selections, my 3rd choice. That was the 4, Time for Harlan. We both went with number 8 in here. Yeah, this is Navia. Don't love the outside post, but I love this mare.
overall, seemed to take the dirt very, very well in her last start, finishing second at this level back on February 26th after running solely on turf and synthetic. Have to like the move that she made that day. She pretty much swept the field in one move, kicked clear into the stretch, and just got tired late. It was her first start since early December. I think second time dirt, second start off the layoff. You'll see a stronger performance from her this time around. I also like that Jesus Rios retains the mount here.
I went with the number 7, Ill Considered. You have also on your ticket in the third spot. An impressive winner when facing condition claimers. That was back on August 31st. Now makes her first start since failing to handle $10,000. But those were open claimers in the slop. That was on October 23rd. Hasn't run in a while, but the trainer Monty Brinsley, he's about 18% with the 61 to 180 days layoff. And I just thought this was a logical spot to drop back. And what we're talking about when we say condition claimers, there's conditions in this claiming race. You know, whether you haven't won, 3 races in life or haven't won a race since September 5th, those are the conditions we're talking about. Open company, much tougher.
Yes, completely agree there, but Ill Considered has run very, very well here. First or second in 4 or 5 starts at Gulfstream. That's an angle to take a look at. You mentioned she hasn't run in a while. I have Golden Empress on my ticket. Brings a 3-race win streak into this race and is a perfect 3 for 3 at the mile distance, but has not raced since April. So that was my only question mark there, but we'll see how these horses can come back off the layoffs.
Let's go to the third race. This one is a 1-mile maiden claimer, 4-year-olds and up, $25,000. There will be a jockey change on the number 4, Eduardito, in this race. As we mentioned, apprentice Tyler Gaffalione not riding today. I went with the number 5 in here, Smoke Police. Moved to the Terry Pompey barn via the claim. Turns back to 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Chased the pace. Finished third behind a pair of next out winners. So this is a key race. I love key races. Both those horses that finished in front of this horse came back to win their next start. That was going 7.5 furlongs on the turf. If it's a key race, I'm usually somewhere around that, so I put that one on top. I know you went with the number 3, LA Freeway, on top of your ticket.
I went back and forth with these top 2 horses repeatedly. I really wasn't sure which way to go. And you mentioned that the 2 horses that came back to win again in that race, finishing ahead of Smoke Police, not only did they come back to win, but they came back to win stepping up in class. So that says a lot. My only concern is, what is this horse's best surface? He ran well in the dirt in his career debut at Saratoga, but then kind of tailed off until he switched back over to the turf. So that was my only question mark, and that's why I gave the slight edge to LA Freeway. Put in a decent race in his last start on February 16th to finish 4th at this level. Did not break well. He took a pretty good stumble at the start. Then, after regaining his balance, got forced wide going around the far turn. That was his first start in 9 months. I think he can move forward tremendously. Second start off that layoff.
Yeah, I threw the 2 in third, and that's Giant Slayer. Katie went to the inside horse in there, Orchley, in our third race of the afternoon. And those 2 were probably trying to tell you maybe an exacta box is the way to go.
I agree.
4th race, 5.5 furlongs. Claim is fillies and mares, 4 and up, $6,250. There will be a jockey change on number 5, Tomei. I went with the number 6 in here. You did not use. That's La Marquisa, and this one moved to the Jamie Ness barn via the claim after responding to a drop in competition with a game victory at this level and distance. That was going 5.5 furlongs. The barn, 31% with new claims. Luis Saez in the saddle. Lots of things for me to like about that horse. Morning line favorite in there. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah, and the numbers there, I think there was a little bit of a mistake because I have La Marquez on top of my ticket, not the 4 Skippy is back. So I completely agree with you there. They just switched it just now.
Oh, there you go. Now we're thinking alike again.
Now we are thinking alike. That horse is on my ticket and on top for all the same reasons that you said. And we also both have the 2 on our ticket. That's Arnhem, coming off a 1 1/4 length win at this level in her last start. That was at 6 furlongs. It was also a first start off the claim for trainer Tino Attard, who is 21% with horses that have won their last start. Could certainly make a case for her. I just think the trip is going to set up a little bit better for La Marquez today. I think she'll get a nice stalking trip.
Sorry, Katie. Number 1, yes, Ms. Olga is making her first start since she drew clear. She was the odds-on choice that day and defeated $12,500 condition claimers. But it was May 24th. So trainer Mike Petro, he's 2 for 5, a limited sampling, 40% with a longer than 180-day layoff. So a little bit of a guess there coming off such a long layoff like that, and hasn't been seen since it beat bottom level type. So a little bit of a thing, but I think a nice spot for her.
Check out the return on investment in those 40% percentage for trainer Mike Petro. $10.12 rather for horses coming back after more than 180 days off. So could get a price and could pay off.
Yep. Let's go to our 5th turf race. Turf course listed as firm. 1 mile on the turf. Starter optional claimer. Fillies and mares 4 and up, $50,000. Jockey change on number 2. Make the rider Edgard Zayas. Kill the apprentice allowance. Make the weight 121 pounds. And I know you wanted to go back and show the last race of today, the number 4 Dream Come True.
I think that Dream Come True from a class standpoint just has a tremendous chance today, and that's why I want to show this race. This is the Sellers Shiraz Stakes at Gulfstream Park West, and you're going to see the horse in front there. That is Daring Kathy, multiple stakes winning Daring Kathy, a big favorite here. And this race really became a race for second. Take a look at the 6 Dream Come True. She's really right in it. She made a big move, really runs on. I loved the effort. She just gets nosed out for 3rd. She is stakes placed. She finished 3rd in the Starfish Bay Stakes here at Gulfstream. Again to Daring Kathy. Takes a step back down to the allowance ranks today. She has run in stakes in 4 of her last 5 starts, I believe. And first start for trainer Ralph Nix. I think she's well spotted, and I think that she can, at 6 to 1, I think you definitely have to play her.
I did not use her on my ticket, but you have a good reasons to use it. I love the 3 horse in here. The angle on the 3 horse. Not that I love the horse is going to win. That's Kazuna, the only 3-time turf winner in the field. 13 previous races, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. Stepping up, but I'm not sure how much. After getting up at the wire to defeat $20,000, 3 lifetime claimers going 7.5 furlongs. This mare loves this turf course. 5 starts, 5 in the money finishes, 5, 2, 2, and 1. Oh, guess what? Leading rider Javier Castellano will be in the saddle. So I like a horse that's proven it's done something more than anybody else in the race. So I put the 3 Kazuna on top of my ticket.
Trainer Jane Sabelli and jockey Javier Castellano, when they team up, they win at a 45% clip. That is impressive.
The other horse I used in here was the 7 Asperides. This one making her North American debut for trainer Brendan Walsh. Really been liking the work that he's been doing here. LASIX added to merit consideration, I think. The daughter of Dane Hill dancer, Corey Lannery in the saddle. I don't know what it is on the morning line in here. The number 7 horses, 6 to 1. I think that's a square price. But now use 6, Jester Me, who you used to.
Yeah, this one has been consistent throughout this race meet. 2nd in a pair of allowances and 3rd in allowance that was taken off the grass. She was beaten just ahead in her last start at this level on February 15th. Always have to consider the Mike Maker barn, especially when you're on the grass. The recurring issue with her is that coming from far back, she is going to need a good trip.
And she might get some pace in there. It looks, if you look at the paper, it looks like there is some horses that like to be on or near the lead. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back for race number 6 in just a couple of moments.
Gulfstream Park is one of Florida's top entertainment destinations, mixing restaurants, clubs, a casino, and international boutique shops with world-class racing. In a lavish, sun-drenched setting with the feel of a Mediterranean village, Gulfstream is a leading year-round entertainment and tourist destination and the home of luxury residences in 2014. The Stronach family, owners of Gulfstream Park, is committed to the sport of thoroughbred racing and the grace, spirit, and generosity of the horse.
The Rainbow Six is back and it's better than ever. Now with a 20-cent base wager, it will expand the market for the popular bet. And in addition to doubling the base wager, the percentage return for the winners on the day the jackpot isn't hit increases to 70%, with 30% going to the carryover pool for the next program. Gulfstream Park, you got to be here each and every day. Oh, big carryover in the Rainbow Six, almost $438,000. And the sixth race is a 5-furlong turf event, maiden 3-year-olds and upward, maiden special weight. We mentioned at the top of the show, 3-year-olds now facing older horses here at Gulfstream Park. We do have a scratch in there of the 2-pin hook. Note the jockey change on the number 1. The rider will now be Jesus Rios, and this horse is also a gelding, so mark that down. And as we mentioned a little earlier, Larry Comas will come on right after us and update you with everything you need to know. Now we want to go back and show you a flashback of Prima Storm, who we both have on top of our ticket.
And we both mentioned earlier how we would not shy away from 3-year-olds running against older horses. Here's one that we both have on the top of the ticket, and that is Prima Storm. This colt is just due for a win. I liked the effort last time out, really ran on hard, was fades to be third, beaten just a length. That was as a 2-year-old. He's coming back as a 3-year-old for trainer Christophe Clement, has never finished off of the board, and I think we're going to see a stronger colt today. I really like the spacing of his works over at Payson Park. They've been both consistent and strong. I think he is the horse to beat.
Yeah, you know, he's been threatening to break his maiden at distances of 5, 7.5, and 6 furlongs, respectively. You mentioned Christophe Clement. He's pretty good with this type of layoff, about 61 to 180 days, so almost 25%, 23% in there. I used the 6, Secret Fortune in second, and this one has really been training sharply on the Palm Meadows turf after an eventful 3-year-old campaign. Listen to this. He finished second in his 6-furlong debut in the slop. He was eased going a mile and an eighth on the Belmont Main track. So I just think this horse coming back was knocking heads with some, pretty nice horses, had some trouble. Jeremiah Engelhardt, he's 29% with the longer than 180-day layoff. I like the work that he does, and this horse I just think might be a little bit of a sneaky in there, and he's on the morning line. Well, they found him. He's second choice at 7-2. Darn it.
How about some more strong numbers? Trainer Kirk Zadie, eye-opening 41% with his first-time starters. That's why I put Greg Rules Da on my ticket. He's a debuting son of Dus Stoops. And Stoops himself, a son of Distorted Humor, 17% with his debuting prodigy. And this one looks like he is going to be sharp for his debut today. Turn in the bullet 4-furlong move at Gulfstream Park West in his final pre-race tune-up. 8 published works. I think you have to have him on your ticket as well.
Well, good information, and as we mentioned, it kicks off the Rainbow Six. You might want to go a little deep in that race. It's not as easy as you might see. Let's go to race number 7, 1 mile and 1/16. These are claimers, 4-year-olds and up, $6,250. Scratch number 7. Tis time is now, and we both have this horse on top of our ticket. I'm talking about the 10, a feat accompli, and pretty nice performance. Changing barns today.
Yes, we are going to take a look at this one's last race. It was so impressive. Here's a fleet accompli right here. Watch the move this horse makes. He's going to end up about 5 wide and just sweeps the field no problem. Gets shown the whip a couple of times at the top of the stretch, but then is just completely geared down. It was a very easy win. The last race, you said, might not be as easy as it appears. I think this race is, because our trifectas are completely the same, and this horse, I think, can easily repeat. He doesn't have to run like that to win.
Well, he's a perfect 2 for 2 at the distance, and it's tough to win at 1 mile and a 16th when breaking from post 10 here. So he did a lot of things that that he didn't do in the past, and that's when from that outside post. So number 10, a fleet accompli on top of our ticket. Tiz Bobby we both have in second, and number 5, Valid Concept in here, and it's one of the horses that you might want to maybe single or in your Rainbow Six sequence today. So we both, as I mentioned, use 6 Tiz Bobby and Valid Concept in our bottom underneath that horse. The 8th race today, 6 furlongs on the turf, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $20,000. Jockey change on the number 7, Happy Twins, make the rider Luis Saez, and getting first-time LASIX today. And I had to go with It's Macaroni. You knew that.
I did too. What a great name. It's Macaroni. This 4-year-old filly returned from a 4-month layoff to get up for second at this level and distance on January 23rd. Earned a 57 buyer for that performance, the highest last out figure of this field. She should realistically improve second start off that layoff, and trainer Jason Service is 18% in that category. Strong numbers there. Gabe Size will be aboard again. He's been aboard for this filly's last 3 starts. I like that angle. He knows her quite well.
Yeah, we both have the 12 and second row, Graciela. This one is dropping a notch on the maiden scale, angling out to finish a willing third. That was against $25,000 maidens, going this same 5 furlong distance, and I think she's going to sit a really nice trip outside all that speed that breaks to her inside, and I know we have the same exactor in here. I closed it out with the 4 Moon Salomoon. I like saying that name, and you went with the number 7 horse in there, and that is Happy's Twins.
Yeah, I like that Luis Saez is going to be aboard. That's a plus for me. This is a first-time starter for trainer Ralph Nix, and it's been aggressively placed for her debut. The 5-year-old is getting a late start to the races, but she's had a steady work pattern leading up to her first outing. 12 published breezes. She's a daughter of Breeders' Cup Mile winner Aragorn, and I think looking at that, she should be well suited to this turf sprint.
Well, let's go to race number 9, 7.5 furlongs on the grass. Starter optional claimer fillies, 3-year-olds, $25,000. Scratch the main track only, number 10, and that is Competitive Player. I went with the number 1 horse in here, and that is My Little Darlings. And this one moved to the Mike Maker barn via the claim after facing winners on the grass, I should say. Broke from post 10, draw up to defeat $25,000 maidens, going 6.5 furlongs on the main track. You know Mike Maker with new claims. He's 24%. Joel Rosario atop this daughter of Purim. I like this horse today.
I like Twist and Bake. A lot of horses running for new connections today. This one is also making her first start off the claim for trainer William Theranos. 43% in that category. It's a limited sample, but he's 3 for 7. This one was caught in the final strides in her last start on February 12th. Finished second, being only a length and a quarter. That was her first start against winners, and she held her own. Cuts back a half furlong, and I think that's going to suit her perfectly today. Also, first-time LASIX. I think that'll give her a boost, too.
We also both used number 9, Quiet Kitten, on our ticket, too. Let's go to the 10th. 5 furlong turf starter optional claimer, 4-year-olds and up, $25,000. Scratch the 6, the 7, and the 10. We got an unpublished work on the 2, Trev. He worked over at Gulfstream Park West, 36.80 in the slop in here. But we want to go back and show you a performance, a horse that I have on my ticket but not on top, and that is Shadow Rock.
Well, I do have Shadow Rock on top, and I love this last race from him. The horse that wins this race, Mongolian Saturday, was favored and did have the jump on him. This horse closes from very wide, you're going to see, and makes a great run. He's going to get up for second, actually dead heats for second. It's really hard for me to believe that this horse returned more than $30 when winning an allowance here on December 11th. He has just been so consistent this race meet. Scooter Dickey, that race that he won, it was his first race training this horse, and he's just done a great job with him. Well beaten when stretched out to 7.5 furlongs, but he has been a model of consistency this meet when turf sprinting. I think there's a lot of speed in this race that just sets up so well for him, and that's why I had to put him right on top.
Well, that's why I used the 5 in here. Morning Brew used his ability to come from off the pace to win 3 consecutive turf sprints, and should see, I think, the same pace scenario this afternoon. Kirk Zadie, Edgar Zayas going for 4 in a row. El Botas, we both have on our ticket, and the number 4, Shadow Rock. So we're basically in agreement. You just got to box those 3 up. We're going to end the day with the 11th race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. Maiden claimers, 3-year-olds, $25,000. Full field of 13 runners for the Super High 5. I went with the number 10, a bit quick. This one stretching out to 1 mile and 1/16, set the pace, weakened to finish 4th, and what should prove to be a positive return from the layoff. Mike Maker, here we go again. He wins the last race, it seems, all the time when we're having the Super High 5. He's 23% with second off 45 to 180-day layoff, and Rafael Hernandez, but I got to have the 13 like you do on Caramello on top of, on my ticket.
Yes, we have our exacta flip-flopped here. Caramello, we've seen a marked improvement from this colt since he switched to primarily running on the grass. He most recently closed to get up for 3rd at this level on February 8th, and I think the stretch out in distance is really going to suit his running style. He's a son of Put It Back, whose 3-year-olds have done very well routing in the last 5 years, 19%. The only sire amongst this group of runners with a better percentage with that type of progeny is Super Saver, and he's only had 2 crops. So I think that says a lot about this one pedigree-wise. What I like most about this this horse is that Antonio Sano had him, lost him via the claim, and then claimed him back.
Like that angle. So that's how Kitty and I see our 11th race card on Thursday afternoon. As we mentioned, almost $438,000 in the Rainbow Six pool. Starts in race number 6 with an 11 race card, and it is a beautiful day in South Florida. So come back and join us. Our track announcer, Larry O'Connor, will be up here in a minute giving you all the changes you need.
Yeah, we still have a few horses that are in need of jockeys. Those are TBA, and he will update you on everything for this great 11 race card on a beautiful day at Gulfstream Park. Enjoy, and best of luck with that Rainbow Six today.